Hello, everyone. Uh, so, everyone, so this is the idea for this video is to discuss. So, a number of participants from PPCR, they have asked us what are the next options when you finish the PPCR program. The PPCR, again, as this may be shared with other colleagues, and the idea is to truly sort of disseminate that so more people can get training. So, what are the next options when you finish PPCR, which is the clinical research training program that you are participating and you may have participating or you may participate in the future. And again, we discussed this in the program, so there's a lot of things that we created that you can continue. For instance, you can apply to become a teaching assistant. You can become a peer reviewer if you have the skills in our peer review journal. And one of the options is to apply for a master's in public health. What is a master's in public health? Again, this is a master's program that offers the basics in statistics, epidemiology, ethics, public policy, and then depending on the concentration, meaning what is the area of the master's, you get additional training. For instance, if you do it in clinical effectiveness, then you get additional training in methodology. Okay, so and again, I know more about the MPH at Harvard THN School of Public Health, but of course, there are several programs that you may be interested. Okay, so I highly recommend. I think again, you participate in PPCR. This was initial training, and you are participating as you are still participating, and that will help you, and that will give you a solid foundation for the next steps. That is absolutely true, and that's our goal as well. So we see the amount of learning when you start the program and when you finish the program, it is significant, and it's most of the cases it is very large, the amount of learning that you can achieve in PPCR. So, but even though, again, I think this as more as you train, and that's our brain. One of the things, and I study learning as well, so I'm very interested in the education field and learning and teaching. So one of the things is, as you know, every time you review something and you work with colleagues as sort of in an educational setting, it is helping not only to consolidate, but to see things in a different angles. That helps you to get a more solid foundation. So you go from the initial concept, and then you can start sort of creating more connections and understanding that subject in a deeper way, which will be will have a significant impact on your scientific and also clinical career as well. So, all the participants from PPCR who applied for the Masters in Public Health, and again, I know more the ones who did the program at Harvard, and again, they, of course, a number of participants also applied for the other programs, but I know specifically the ones who did it here at the School of Public Health, and for all of them, so that also helped immensely to keep focus on methodology and learn even in a deeper way. So again, I truly recommend you. And one of the things now is many of these options, and again, I don't know, but I suspect that the school will offer more options online in the future. Now there isn't one option, which is the online program in epidemiology. There is a 2-week requirement to come here to campus. Of course, not this year, but Even other years, this may be different. So, but that's, I think that's there's always different, there's different options for you to think, to consider, if you're interested in this program. So, but what I wanted to talk to you is about how to prepare your application. And one thing that I keep telling sort of PPCR participants, and we'll discuss in class as well, is we have so much to discuss that usually there's not even time to go over that, but is to start working on the documents early on, even if you're not sure. So if you're thinking that may be a possibility, I would say, you know what, just start working on the documents. So they say, oh, but look, I have to take this exam and getting the transcripts, and it's a lot of work. There are costs. I understand, and there is an amount of work involved. Again, but this could be something useful for other things you may be willing to do. So, and it's not, and I don't think it would be completely waste of time if you gather all the documents and you decide not to apply. So if there's a good chance for you to apply for the master's, yes, just go ahead and then start working on the documents. So what are the documents? And again, go to the website, check it, and there may be differences year from year, but those are the main documents that I'll list it. But please do check it. When you apply, you go, and that's a good thing. There's one unified system for all the public health schools, or most of the public health schools in US. And I think in Canada as well, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, but you can check. But the website is SOPHAS, SOPHAS.com or .org. I think it is .com. But anyway, I'll put a link here in this video. And what is needed in that one? So again, there is a one unique website. So you don't apply on the Harvard website if you're interested in the Harvard program. You apply on this general website, and you select which programs you wanted to apply on. Transcripts. So you need the transcripts of your graduate courses, medical school, college. If you've taken other sort of post-graduation programs or other master's program as well. So you need to gather all of that. And also check the requirements if you need it in a sealed envelope. Also, it does need to have a translation if you were not from US, which most of participants from PPCR are not. So, and this takes time. So when you go to the school, the registrar's office, to ask for these documents, it does take time to get it. Usually schools, they give you 2, 3, 4 weeks. And also then you need to send to a translator, if it's not in English, these documents. So all of this, it takes time. So, and again, work to get this as soon as possible. Second thing, so you need, and that's the thing also, that you need to work ahead of time. You need 2 exams, or one for everyone, which is the GRE. There are some options, some instead of a GRE, other graduate type of exams, assessments, but the most common is GRE. But this is for if you're applying for medical school, they may accept MCAT, and you can check the requirements. But again, for most of you, I suspect that it is the GRE that you're going to have it. The GRE, it's just a standardized exam. There's a bunch of references of books and videos, and then you can prepare. And I think virtually in most countries they do offer. I know, of course, in Brazil There's a number of test centers. I think they do in alumni in Brazil, in Europe, all over Europe. But you can check that. But again, I'm not going to give the specific details. What I wanted to uh, uh, to let you know is to prepare to take this exam. Okay, so again, check the requirements. No, I don't know. You may leave it. I don't have all the details, but you may live in one country that they accept one type of exam that you may have it anyway. But most likely you needed a GRE, and then the GRE again, you can take it in your country. You should study. You should see what's going to ask in the exam. So usually there are two sections. One is for more communication skills, English language, and the other one is for quantitative skills. And so quantitative skills, you should give special attention because one of the things that I know in several of these MPH programs, they do want candidates that have strong quantitative skills. So make sure again you get strong scores on that, and also of course on the other component. But one thing that you may want to give special attention is on that. And then what else? Letters of recommendation. You need 3 letters of recommendation. So again, you participate in PPCR. I'm happy to help you with that. Of course, is try to participate as much as you can. So I can write in my letters of the interaction that we had it as well in class and participation activities and so on. So that helps to write the letter. If you're in the PPCR program, if we have no interaction, I'm happy to give a letter with your overall participation in the program. But again, as more as I know you, better that would be to provide and more than you do in the program as well, so you can get some statement of a strong participation in another program. So that's one thing for you to consider. And then again, I think the letters you try to get from people who truly know you. So try to see if you get some connection. I think it's always good to have letters from people from US as well. So not only for your colleagues in your home country, but if you do have it, that is always helpful because they know the system a little bit better. So it's easy to translate you to the system here. What else? Transcript, letters, statement, GRE. Oh, sorry. I forgot here on the test, if English is not your first language, is your native language. So then you needed a TOEFL. So same thing as well. So I think again, if I'm not wrong, so if they haven't changed it, the cutoff is 100. And it is a categorical, so if you don't make it, and again, check again. Always send an email to. There is an email on Harvard as well, in which they answer all the questions. They're very nice, polite. So any questions you have it, so please conform with them. So especially if you're going to invest a good amount of time. But the TOEFL, same thing as well. So make sure you get 100. Don't leave for the last minute, because if you leave for last minute, then you don't have the chance to retake it. And if it's less than 100, and I've seen a number of participants on PPCR getting close to 100, but not making 100. So then your application is not even reviewed. Okay. So again, start working on the preparation for GRE. Make sure you get, on these mock exams, you get a good grade, and the TOEFL as well, you get at least 100. And then what else? Then you need a statement of purpose, basically your personal statement. So why you wanted to do that program. So that doesn't need to be done now. You can think, and if you wanted to, of course, it's always great. But I think in terms of preparation, I would say the test scores, GRE and TOEFL, and start working on transcripts. The letters, of course, if you let me know as well, again, if you're in the PPCR program and you say, look, I'm interested in applying, and we can start a conversation. So and keep your work on PPCR. So then I can let my colleagues at the School of Public Health know, I have a bit more data to let them know about my experience with you for this year-long program, and whether sort of I think you would be successful. So again, the PPCR participants, every time I talk to my colleagues, are teaching there as well. So you guys always stood up in the program. So I always heard great things from you guys. The ones who apply get accepted, but make sure you work ahead of time to again get a good test score on the GRE, get a TOEFL as well that is more than the TOEFL is not going to. If you have a TOEFL of 100, I don't know the limit, whatever, 120, 130, it's going to make you more likely. No, you're not going to get additional points. But again, this is only required. This is a requirement, and of course they are interested. So it is important that your communication skills, they are good in English as well. So and also again, as more as we interact during classes and your argumentation, discussing cases, it's always good for me as well to provide additional feedback if I'm writing a letter for you. And I think that's it, guys. Again, start early, prepare for that, and to help you on your application. We can discuss a bit more different programs, different concentrations, and also the funding. It's not a cheap program, but again, it's all worthwhile. And I've seen so many participants from people from my lab with PPCR and applying, and at the end of the day, they always find a way, apply for loans and get scholarships. And so anyway, we can discuss more in another video. That's all, everyone. So again, hope this is useful. Highly recommended. I'm happy to work with you, to help you on your application, and just let me know. All right. Okay, everyone. I'll see you soon if you're in PPCR, and if you're not, just send us a feedback, and happy to help. Bye, everyone.